Any other questions?
What do you think of Ryan's plan? Sounds pretty good to me.
Well, I think it's pretty good. I don't know all the details of it, but in essence, if you're 55 and older, Medicare stays exactly the same. If you're 55 and younger, you have some options and some choices that you can make based on your needs. And I think that's a good way to go about it. Hey, look, at the time those programs were created, the average lifespan was what, 70 years old, 65, 70 years old? Now people are living to 95, 100, even greater than 100. You've had all the advancements in medicine, new technologies, and, before people died immediately of a heart attack, now they can go in and they do a quadruple bypass and everything else. And, in other words, there's been a lot of advancements and people are living a whole lot longer. The program was never intended to, be a source of safety net for that long a period of time for people. And again, it gets back to you get conditioned in such a way that you want what you have now, but you have to understand you got to be able to pay for it. And we in this country have a hard time understanding that we got to pay for things. That things to start, granted to us. And we all struggle with that. There's certain things I've become accustomed to that I don't want to give up. But, I had to look myself in the eyes one day and say, all right, Rouzer, you got to give that up. That's what every business owner out there is having to do. And that's what the government's got to do. And that's what we as a country, as a people, have got to recognize that, nowhere is it written or decreed, that we're to be granted all this stuff. I think there's a reason why the Lord organized it the way He did, that you have to work. If you didn't have to feed yourself, clothe yourself, and put a shelter over your head, nobody would care about working at all, would they? I think there's a reason why. There's certain things you got to do in order to take care of your basic needs. So anyhow, I think He's got a good plan and a good plan for the future, and there might be some areas where I'd have some disagreement, but the point is, He's got a plan. Who else has got a plan?
Obamacare is the plan to run us in the ground.
Yeah, that's his whole mission. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So, any other questions or comments, or I feel like I kept you too long? But this is all important stuff, though, because it's our future. We either get it right or we get it wrong. And we're at the point now where we can't afford any more mistakes. And again, I want to go back and say, every time you hear Mike McIntyre as a conservative, when Nancy Pelosi was Speaker, not only did he vote for her 4 times to be Speaker, he voted with her over 90% of the time when she was Speaker. And that's about as succinct as I can put it in 15 seconds, which is about the time span I have to deal with. All right, anything else? If not, thank you for coming out. I appreciate whatever you can do to get more volunteers. Dodie, most of you know Dodie Renfro. Dodie's my political director. And anything that you hear on the ground, make sure you get in touch with her and let her know if there are events coming up in various communities you think it'd be helpful if I was able to pop in and spend a couple of minutes, let her know. Obviously, I can't be everywhere because this district covers 12 counties, and I'm going to have to be spending a lot of my time in New Hanover and Brunswick County. New Hanover, Brunswick, and Johnston is about 75–80% of the total vote. So that's where the population center is. And then, to reiterate what I said at the outset, I've got to hold Johnston and Sampson very strong, and then basically split the vote everywhere else, and we're in very good shape. And my goal, though, is to win New Hanover County. And we're making progress down there because when I first started out, nobody had any idea who I was. I'd go in a restaurant and I'd shake hands and tell them who I was. Now when I go in a restaurant, there are people that are coming over to me saying, I'm with you. And so we're making some progress. And that's important. And I find a lot of McIntyre supporters who tell me, they say, you know, I just got to go tell Mike he's in the wrong party. You know, we got to turn this country around. And so there are a lot of McIntyre supporters who have followed me throughout my career with Helms, and they know me, they're comfortable with me, and they're behind us. And so that's been helped as well, particularly here in this county and Bladen County and Duplin County and Columbus and those areas. And so whatever you can do to spread the word, and as Brent mentioned, money is not everything, but you can't do anything without it. And, message and money are the keys to winning a campaign. And obviously you can't get your message out if you don't have the money to get it out. McIntyre's got a lot more money than I do, and it's all basically because he's an incumbent, and the PACs have given him a tremendous amount of money. In fact, our money difference basically is the amount of money he's gotten from PACs. I've actually outraised him by more than $100,000 based on the last report among individuals. And a lot of those individuals are from this district. And so I think politically that's very, very encouraging. So all that's important, but I just appreciate whatever you can do, and I certainly appreciate your prayers and appreciate you coming out. And hope you'll have some food. Yeah.
Closing comment on as I have observed over the years. I personally have seen the benefit of having a person like Senator Law Press Office, a man of the people, represent the people. And I've seen the benefit of Senator Brent Jackson, a man of the people to represent the people, to have a closeness to the people, whose feet are on the head in the cloud, but the feet are on because the feet are on the ground. And I've seen that benefit, and I see that benefit in you too. That a person, not the people, for the people. And I'm not the people here, and it's just close to home, right here for us. And I see that a benefit from that.
I appreciate that, and I wanted to say I'm glad you spoke up, because I want to thank you for your prayer that you gave at the outset. Those of you that weren't here, he mentioned in his prayer, you know, for the Lord to give us a little extra strength and so forth. Because you're out on the road, and it's tough, and it's hard, and you're tired, and, you know, like Faircloth is driven up and down the I-95 to Washington and everywhere else when it's midnight or later, and, you know, you've had a hard week, and it's just tough. And in your prayer, it kind of hit me. There have been many a times when I've been on the road, and I mean, you're wiped out, you're tired. I mean, hell, you don't know if anybody likes you, and you don't know if you're doing well. And I mean, it's just a hard grind. It's hard to raise the money. You get cussed at half the time, then half the time you love, which I don't mind either of that. I'm used to that. When I was with Helms, I was cussed every day, so I was kind of inoculated. But the point of the matter is, there have been many times when I've been on the road, and I could hear Helms in my mind. I could hear Jim Graham in my mind, who I was real close to. And you know, it gives you that, you know, kind of gives you that push. And so your prayers mean a whole lot more than you know. And I appreciate that. Well, thank you very much, and God bless you, and have some food. Well, I'm sorry about your yeah, but you guys are good. Wine, that thing is chocolate. Wine bracelet.